We are speaking about community, we are speaking about new solutions, new form of living, cryptocurrency, peer-to-peer, people dreaming about Bitcoin 100K, $1,000, 100K, 200K, I will get rich, I will do a lot of money because of this. In the same time, we understand that the system, even that is taking more power, the fiat money we know is collapsing and there are some cycles of recessions. What we do need to take care of is what we are building as a new earth, and it's not just the money, because you don't expect to continue consuming the same way in the city center, in the best neighborhood, buying the best cars and all this. We are entering to era of Aquarius, and this is so important to start or already to change the paradigm how we are living. Sharing, owing, and if you will not owe anything but share what you are sharing. Resources that we have right now in abundance maybe will not be what you are calculating by purchasing with all this money that you are doing with crypto or with other things, who knows, or whatever work you sweat yourself. In this video I'm going to introduce a very good friend from Germany that life connected us a few times, and we are again together here in Portugal. We're going to share our thoughts, the ideas that are coming, as in few days we are starting feeling it already. Jupiter and Neptune meeting in Pisces. It's a big shift for everybody, creating the dream, and we need a lot of people with a big vision to see new level of freedom, what option we have. I will introduce you to Thomas, and we will discuss of our experience of traveling the world, specifically in the COVID days, that people are so afraid from each other, afraid from what's happening in the other side, because always media is showing us fear and dangerous, high cases, whatever. Now it's worse, would be another thing. Let's see. Thomas.
Yeah, thanks for the small introduction. Beautiful place here. Really like it a lot here with the sun. And yeah, in regards of experience, I gotta say that living the kind of mindset that it's possible, it's abundant, it's sort of like you're gonna be able to achieve it, is still the key to everything. Because you've been asking about how it's possible to travel in the recent 2 years when it's been really difficult, and the answer is it's by just thinking it's possible somehow, and that involves a lot of research. It's a lot of stress to go through these extra bureaucratic moves and maybe go for a test or something, but still it's possible somehow. And I think the most important start is to have the mindset that it's possible. And about that, I think that also applies for what you've been also just mentioning, inflation and the problems with resources, with maybe a recession that we are about to face right now. Nonetheless, I think still very abundant, like that everything is available. You just have to be very fair with life itself. So be fair, look for what is really important and what is just maybe too much. Maybe you're trying to sell yourself being more worth than you are financially. So I would say you should be very flexible. The universe is going to supply everything you need, but you got to be really fair with it. So you cannot be super picky about, I want to have a villa, I want to have a penthouse, this and there at that very spot. So you got to be a bit more freedom from outcome, but you're gonna get what you're looking for. So if you have something in mind that your vision is telling you is some beautiful spot at the beach, some palm trees, maybe some green mountains surrounding it, it's still gonna be possible, but you have to be very flexible and be more in the flow. That's sort of my perception, just in terms of my intuition telling me that.
A lot of people are thinking, yeah, I want to be in the flow, I want to travel, I want to do this. But I aware to how hard is even to my loved one. I prefer to find the freedom in the past paradigm. And what we are called, I think, and a lot of entrepreneurs that are already pushing the society forward and to give example, like the example of how we are living, is possible to create value. It's possible to co-create, to collaborate, and to share from your own services. You're a programmer.
One thing that I might add is that if you're not a software developer, if you're not really in IT, in the IT sector, it's going to be very fine anyways, because it's already very fine and it's just getting better. Because I think there's a lot of demand, and that's the positive side, because they're like the negative side is metaverse, that they want to, like the system or like the big IT tech companies want to really like catch all the attention of people to divert it into virtual reality and a metaverse as a whole. But the good side of it is that there's also going to be a lot of jobs that are for people that are not in the IT sector. It could be coaches, could be a health coach, fitness coach. It's already starting and it's just getting better and better and better. And I just remember that I recently met a person who had to basically get out of Germany because she was being blackmailed as a nurse to have to go to undergo all kinds of vaccinations, whatever the state wants. So that was of course not acceptable for her, and she was very consequent with just quitting or like stopping to work and moving to some other place abroad. And she started with the same sector, which was health, but then with alternative medicine and like coaching that, teaching that online. So, and luck was on her side. So I think it went very well, and I'm pretty sure that this possibility is also existing for everyone else. You just have to be very courageous and make a big move.
So many things that we're speaking right now is like to prepare people for the next 10 years. How you are seeing, what is your vision?
Yeah, I think we see a lot of everything. We see a lot of positive things. We also see a lot of really weird stuff happening in terms of automation of human processes, I would call. For example, we're going to see some robots and bots taking like some primitive work, starting to take over that. That can actually be some even positive to some extent. We see a lot of less manufacturing. In general, I think we see a big split between societies that are going to make a subconscious decision. I think like some countries, some societies are going to be rather on a very happy side. They are still deciding in favor of living life, being in touch with the nature. And I think like some societies, they are just going to be very, very in touch with technology, and more smartphone usage, more being like soaked into that smartphone screen or whatever is going to be active by then. So I think we are going to see more extremes than less extremes in the next 10 years, and a lot of more technology. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, and definitely more technologies. We are understanding that this is not processes that are not happening on the same velocity and in everywhere, meaning that some countries will be stuck, some others will express more spiritual and creativity freedom. And the question here is, where will be most opportunities to live? Maybe in the 80s, you would definitely choose United States. Everybody want to go to United States more, all the shopping mall, all the consumerism. You are finding abundance of everything. In other places, it was hard. Now, they are going to change. Here in Madeira, they went to Venezuela. It sounds to be the best place that offered best opportunities. Also, Buenos Aires was built very well and into the 60s. What I would like to emphasize in this conversation is like, as we are 2022, what is best solution? Where to go that is not just where to go. We don't expect that everybody will go somewhere. My answer is South America, coming turn again. And indeed, South America is offering, and Latin America in general, uh, is still under chaotic and not organized, but the values in life is changing. What we consider to be consumism of the past, going to be more of a mixture between nature and technology. And now we are where we can get the best of nature by the fruits and the products of earth. I think that South America is offering much more of this benefits, and also with the climate change going to benefit a lot the South American side and even Central America. More of a green energy, of course, like greenhouses that are disconnected from electricity of the central, but are more located in places that are sunny, and learning how to convert even seawater to drink if needed, or a lake or from the mountain. And it's like creating a new concept of company, even that could be based on a company on the DAO.
Creating more autonomous communities is a very beautiful thing to do. I want to encourage and emphasize that it's very nice to also meet with people that are very different from each other. It's just, like as you mentioned, with a group of 4 or 5 people that can be very, very, very different from each other, can be very fruitful because everyone has like an own standpoint. And that's actually something you will benefit from, because what you need to have is like honesty, and you need to have the chemistry in order to communicate with each other. But it's very nice if everyone has like a very different background, and sometimes even different standpoints. So for me, I'm not even like familiar with astrology, for example. I did like 2 bachelors of engineering and a master of science, so like just 2 normal, so to say, normal academic degrees. But nonetheless, it's very, very, very interesting to listen to each other and to listen to some other perspectives. That's actually what's missing for at societies, like mankind. They're like not really talking to each other, and that's a huge, huge problem. That's also why we are suffering in terms of why the times are changing as they are changing, and why communities have to find each other in smaller communities, because a lot of countries are falling apart or already fell apart in our history. And it's in my opinion, this is going to continue and continue, because mankind is going through the same mistakes again and again and again, which is on the individual level. People are not finding to themselves, not asking for themselves the right questions about life, about who they want to be, what this is all about. And that also leads as a consequence that they are not asking to others like very important questions. They rather talk about sports, they rather talk about what's in the media. They also talk about what's in the news, and that's also very, very difficult, because they think that's very intelligent thing to do. But if it's not related to them, even if let's say the news is fully correct, which is also not the case probably, but even if it was fully correct, it's not really about your finding yourself what's happening like 15,000 kilometers away, unless you have some relatives there or unless you want to travel there directly. But if not, you should be really focused about yours, like forthcoming in your social circle, and that's what your life should be about. And I think then the world also would become a better place.
We are seeing a lot of digital nomads communities all over, coming together just to get free, to see other side, to find here, to find there, go some parties here and there, which is very nice.
Well, all I can say is that the travelers that I met, they are loving to be in touch with other people and with nature in the physical world so much that the other trend, which is metaverse and direct virtual connections and meetings with other people, will not be, that's not going to be for them. So for these for like that inner circle of really passionate travelers, I think not so many things are going to change, because they are insisting on doing that. And for the broader public, I could imagine that it's probably a bit less traveling and more about, unfortunately, more virtual reality. And to some extent, I even like it because, of course, it's convenient and it's not always necessary to go somewhere. Remote work is fine as well, of course. There's everything beautiful about it. But yeah, so the bottom line is, I think, for in terms of, let's say, digital nomads and travelers in general, people who really love doing that will also continue doing so in the future.
Lovely, lovely. I agree. I see myself almost impossible stopping, discovering, and connecting with others. I many times use the description that I'm like a spider. Like it's all about network. Everywhere we go, we are creating, we are meeting a person, and we are connected with another person, and we are creating sort of a hive where we finally can come together, understanding that the financial system we were based on, that is part of the industrial revolution, is ending. Planning on pension, planning on security for the future, and all this is not what needs to hold people back by fear or others for discovering their own path. It's all about knowledge and how we are creating knowledge and sharing knowledge. This is the era of knowledge, Aquarius. It's something about liberating yourself from the dependency of the real estate and mostly of the possession that you want to own. This is my home, this is my pension, this year I'm going to buy. And for the last year, since 2022 started, I happened to meet very old people that become travelers after building a family, and I saw the vitality of them and how they are suddenly honoring my lifestyle. So it's very mind-blowing and inspiring to see that you could be also 70 and 80 with very good health, because what is actually killing our health is stress and conditions that we are taking from our parents, and it's like the genetic sort of the bad side of deterioration of your cells. Sometimes it's because of repetition of emotional patterns that you are not expanding to a new level of understanding. You could be happy, free, and old, and all your abundance will come through as you are sharing, co-live, and trust the divine, trust yourself, without needing to settle down, take a mortgage, and to wait for your death, and to heritage all this finally. And to create another alternative family is not about the traditional families. If you want to summarize, just...
No, I don't want to summarize because it would be too much to summarize once again. I just want to say thanks for listening. That's it from my part. It's been a beautiful time. It's been a beautiful interview, and I really love the scenery here. It's awesome. And yeah, I don't have anything else to add. Just ciao and goodbye. See you in the next one.